Hey guys, Chad here at Happy Viking Games, and today we're going to do another deck tech. Today we're going to do the black-green Ooze Kibler deck. This is my personal favorite deck in the format because I love green cards. And so we're just going to jump in. It's kind of a mid-range-ish deck. It's not a control deck, and it's not really an aggro. I mean, it can be aggressive, but it's more of a mid-range deck. So basically what it is it's got all these creatures. This whole row down here is all creatures. And all these creatures are pretty resilient to removal. So the plan is just make a threat that's hard to take care of and just control the board and win from there. So we'll start with the 1-drops. We have Arbor Elf for ramp, obviously, so we can play our Ooze on turn 2, or our Garrick on turn 3. So this is standard ramp card. Then we have Ooze Tracker. Ooze Tracker is sweet in this deck because a lot of the decks right now in the format are very aggressive and they're not playing a lot of ways to get rid of creatures. They don't like deny a Blitz Stackers, stuff like that is just playing Searing Spears. Or the Gen Aggro deck is just playing Searing Spears and like a couple tragic stuff. There's not a lot of removal spells. Now the Gen Control decks and stuff like that have a lot of removal, but this card's very good against aggro because it controls the board and it's hard to kill because a lot of decks aren't playing removal spells. So what this guy does is he allows you to tap 2 and to tap him to fight any of your creatures with one of theirs. And the reason why that's very good is because all of our creatures are very resilient. Like they're indestructible, or they regenerate, or they have undying, or it's very profitable to fight. Moving to the 2-drop slot, we have Stranglergeist, which is just very good against the aggro decks and against the control decks. It's kind of bad against mid-range decks. You board out a lot against any mid-range decks, but when you want to be aggressive, it can be aggressive. If you need to block, it can block twice. It's just it's a neat card. Lawless Troll. This guy's really good against a lot of decks because he can regenerate for 1 black, and a lot of decks have problems dealing with this regenerate. So sometimes it's actually good to just discard 3 creatures to this guy and just go all in on him. I mean, you obviously don't want to do it against a deck with Azorius Charms and stuff like that. Well, if they have Azorius Charm, you're not going all in on this guy. But if they don't, or they don't have Selesnya Charm, you just kind of make a huge troll, and a lot of decks can't deal with it. That's just the way that's just how it works. So moving on here, we have Wolfir Avenger, and this guy has Flash. And he regenerates, so he's a problem for control decks. And also you can flash it in against aggro decks and kill their 2/2, and then have this 3/3 that regenerates and just blocks everything. So another resilient creature. And we have these Predator Oozes, which are the reason why the deck is called Ooze. And this guy is indestructible. He's almost impossible to deal with other than his Azorius Charm, Tragic Stuff, and 7th Bloodline. And the reason why he's so good is because he gets bigger every time he attacks, and also when he kills a creature. So that means if you have Ooze Tracker and you fight your Predator Ooze with their guy, your Predator Ooze is not going to die because it's indestructible, and if you kill theirs, you get another counter. So this thing just grows, and it's really hard to deal with, especially with a Rancor on it. And it's just it ends the game quick once it gets big enough. And then finally we have Dredge Mangler, which is awesome. Just a 3-mana 3/3 with haste. He has the ability to scavenge late game if you have nothing to do, you have 5 mana, you need to grow a guy big, it's there. So moving on to the spells, we have Rancors. Rancor is obviously very, very, very good in this deck, especially on guys that regenerate or this Ooze that doesn't have trample. If we can stick a Rancor and an Ooze, this thing just gets out of control. Rancor is also very good in this deck on Predator Ooze to deal with Boros Reckoner, because if you have a 7/7 Predator Ooze and they have a Boros Reckoner, you can't really attack because then you get a counter and then they'll block, and yeah, you'll kill a Reckoner, but then you'll take 8, and you can't have that. But if we slap a Rancor on it, then we only have to assign lethal damage because of trample, so we'd be able to assign 3 to the Reckoner and the rest of the face. So it's kind of a way to get around Boros Reckoner if you have a big dude. And obviously it comes back and it's very good. Our removal spells main deck are 2 Tragic Slips to deal with Falkenrath, Aristocrat, and Olivia. Those are two of the problem cards. Also, it kills Resto Angel. They flash in Resto Angel. We can do it before combat. And almost all of our guys are 3/3s. So we'll make their Angel 2/3. Our 3/3 will trade. So this is pretty pivotal dealing with Olivia, Resto, and Falkenrath, which are the three probably hardest cards to deal with other than Angel Serenity, but nobody's playing that right now. Next we go to Abrupt Decay, which kills Boros Reckoner, it kills Loxodon Smiter, it kills the Tension Sphere. Tension Sphere gets rid of these. This is one of the cards that gets rid of these, but Abrupt Decay gets rid of it. And so, you know, it kills Flayhoof Boar, kills a bunch of the aggro creatures in this format, kills Champion of the Parish when it's big, kills Mare. It's just a very good card right now. Garrick, also very good on this side, fights, kills something relevant. On the other side, let's flip one over. On the other side, his +1 is cool because it makes Death Touch Wolves, which then get to fight with our Uberwall tracker, and it has Death Touch, so it's going to kill anything it fights, even though it's a 1/1. Its -1 is used a lot in this deck just to go find this Uberwall tracker because it's so important in a lot of matchups. And then the -3, the Trample gives all our guys +X/+X to Trample. If you use that, you're probably going to end the game. And it's cool too because if you have a Lotless Troll and you have a couple creatures in your hand, and you know you're an ultimate, you can just pitch your creatures to the Troll, make the Troll a little bit bigger, and then -3 to pump your guys even more. So this card's very good in this deck. All of its abilities are used, so it definitely shines. So the land base is, there's 10 forests, and then we have 4 of each of the green-black lands, including the Guild Gates, just to get our black mana. We need it. I don't really like Guild Gate, but it feels like you have to play it. It's hard. You don't want to play Swamp because you have Predators and you have Arborels. And this is triple green, and you don't want to have a Swamp in your hand and then not be able to cast this on 2, because the card is so important to get out early. So you have to play these Guild Gates. They suck sometimes, but I mean, it is what it is. So moving on to the sideboard. Over here we have 4 Duress and 2 Appetite for Brains as hand disruption. Now the Duresses come in against the Flash deck. And that's a lot of Duresses, it seems like, but you need it. You need to get the Azorius Charmer in their hand. You need to get cards like Sphinx's Revelation out of their hand, because if they Revelate, it's not good. If you Revelate for 3 or more, you've probably lost the game. So you need to get those cards out of their hand. Also, getting the Azorius Charm is very important because you just like, if the Azorius Charm is Predators and it's a 4/4, you just have to start all over again, and that's one of the worst cards of the deck. Appetite for Brains comes in against any deck with Thragtusk or Restoration, like if it's a banned deck with Thragtusk and Restoration Angel and Prime Speaker Zagana and anything like that. This helps greatly because it gets all their problem cards. Triumph of Ferocity, great card to come in against control. Any non-creature deck that is playing the control role, you bring these in against, because even your Arborels will draw you a card a lot of times. So you play it on 2, you start an engine where you just draw 2 cards a turn and you'll just out-card advantage them, and they won't be able to do anything. Sever the Bloodline, probably the most important card in the sideboard. It kills Olivia, which is a huge problem for this deck. Also kills Angel Serenity. It exiles them. So if you're playing against some kind of weird Junk Reanimator deck or just the Jund deck, and you need a way to get rid of Olivia, these come in and just get them every time. The extra Tragic Slip is, you know, because there's a lot of aggro decks, and you just want to bring it in against the Falkenrath Aristocrat decks. And it's just there. The 1/12-month script is for Reanimator. Not a lot of people in our meta play it. If more people in your meta play it, I'd want another one. But it's a concession to the Reanimator matchup. I mean, if you draw it, you'll win the game. If you don't, maybe you don't need it to win. But you don't want to jam your deck full of them, because then you're just going to draw a bunch of Torment Scripts and not do anything, and they're just going to play their Hunt Masters and kill you. And the 3 Deathray Shamans, I don't really like these cards on the sideboard. I think that they're going to change